IG and V5 once again, welcome back. This is Preacher, I'm Hysterics. This series, we're now live here with IG and V5, which has taken us to a Game 3. And a lot of questions as we go into Pick and Ban live. Let's do it, or at least we've already seen Pick and Ban. I'm very curious as to what's happening here. So, looks like we've already seen it. Yes, we're looking at champions. So, hello, Nico in the top lane for what looks like the Shy.
Oh, it could well be. That's going to be a really nice thing because the Shy has so many good plays when you have giant circles encapsulating him. Think about the Kennen. I think that the Nico would do just as well for him, but he requires a setup.
And Windy's off for Yasuo. Part of me thinks IG would have banned this away.
You'd imagine.
Just because of how annoying it has been. A thorn in their sides. We'll go into Game 3, though, very, very shortly, as in now. Because this, for V5, is a good starting point of the split. This, for IG, is a lot of concern if they can't shore this up. If IG lose this, then it is safe to say that their split is in jeopardy already as we get into this concerning, yet very exciting, Game number 3.
Both of the two support... come on, guys. Just what I wanted to say. Both of the two support squads from these two teams coming in huge, especially for game number 3. You'd have to expect it given just what is on the line for both teams. IG showing that they can actually come back despite all that has happened inside of this series, and V5 trying to come on top of this amazing team.
It looks like we're going to see an early skirmish here as well. IG unaware that someone's here is Ben4 and Mol going for the engagement. We can talk about the roster change. Second double flash coming through. A triple one, in fact, as Mol jumps on top for the Skarner. Little cell there. A lot burnt here for Ben4 to get his own red back.
Yeah, but he finally does take advantage. Let's talk about that, though. V5 finally taking out Alias and putting in Mol on what is the Silas pick.
So this is an interesting team in V5.
Because they got the triangle trade going on.
Well, yeah, so Mol is a mid laner. Played top lane one game in EDG for Spring. Windy originally took over Alias in the top lane as a substitute for one game, and now Mol has taken over Alias. I just don't know this theory of subbing out as Mol is going to take the engage onto the Shy, but this is not good. He missed Abscond abduct, and he's just going to get traded back so much heavier. So Mol already a rough start to come into Game 3 with.
Took the W. However, the thing that we need to talk about when it comes to Mol is that he can play mages a whole lot better than Alias. Alias is known as the engaged top laners and also the lane bullies to make sure that he can just win laning phase alone. Mol, much better on the Silas. I like it given the draft, but I'm a little bit surprised that IG didn't anticipate this when they saw that Mol was subbed in.
Because for IG right now, playing off the tempo in the early game seems to be the go-ahead. Rookie on his infamous LeBlanc, and I wouldn't be too surprised if the IG skin was in hand there as well. So this is an IGS comp.
But taking a look over at the other side as well, another huge surprise that we were actually discussing in the break was, will Y4 go for an ADC? It turns out he has in the Xayah as well. This does mean that he wants to revert back to something that's not as cheesy as what we saw before, and hopefully his skills alone can go toe-to-toe with Jackie Loves.
I don't think it has anything to do with cheese. Y4 just experimenting there a little bit. Rookie going to see the Scorpion come into the mid lane. That was an easy negate of what Ben4 wanted to achieve there with Windy, so he'll back away.
Yeah, we already saw the Skarner once today. It is pretty much the same story. Either rush to 6 or try to use a whole lot of your stuns along with Predator. So it's up to Ben4 which route he wants to go, the hard farm or the gank as well.
You see the Shy just sending out Tangle Barbs in the top lane. Mol's going to be forced to back here, and the Shy can hard push this. So already, this Nico lane is super rough. As the clone gets hit, he can't stop the back in time, but the Shy being as aggressive as always, teleport going to be channeled in from Mol.
Yeah, just a few milliseconds off from cancelling that one, which would have been devastating to Mol. But now we've got to take a look at where all of the lanes stand. Now that everything's been even out, more or less identical CS for everybody, except for Mol, who in the top lane is starting to fall behind.
I think, first of all, though, we need to break down the compositions. If I get a chance to do that as Y4 just sends it to Jackie Love. For V5, a lot of scaling once again, a lot of pick potential there as well with the Silas, the Rise, Skarner, Nautilus. You can get a lot done here in the mid game, and especially in those cheeky little brushes as IG are forced to back away from V5 again.
Yeah, it's hard CC compared against IG's wombo combo composition. Whenever you see this, whenever you see the Jarvan paired with the Nico as well, you know exactly what's coming your way. Set down the ring and dunk the ball in. That's what they're looking for, but they need level 6 and they also need post-laning phase in order to do it.
Also, you got double TP on V5, so I like the potential of 1-3-1 here. With Ben4 running rampant in the side lanes, but right now in the laning phase, he's doing exactly that. As for the Shy, forcing the flash out into Rookie in the mid lane. We got fighting everywhere as Ning is looking for the first blood first onto Rookie. They can't get it. He gets first blood, and it's Ning who walks away with pride.
Yeah, banned away. The Yasuo is not on, but somehow I would have expected that the Yasuo wouldn't have lived in that situation either. Windy held on to his flash just because he knew that it was going to get followed up in the subsequent a little bit. So he dies with a little bit of pride because he can still lane save.
But Windy does not have the teleport, so Wave eventually going to slowly push against him. In fact, for Rookie, this is great. He can look for essentially a mini freeze as Mole just wants to go into the Shy again, but Ning is nearby. And Mole going to get the chain lash back on out, but the Shy gonna get help from Ning to help push the wave.
Already used his Q, so he doesn't have a QE, and Ben4's coming in.
Here comes Predator Jungler once again. They're not looking for the Shy. They want to go into Ning, who's just auto-attacking through the wave. He gets the flag and drag the Shy. Goes into a clone, but they get the right one the first time, while Jackie Love at the bottom lane is fighting again. I can't take it anymore, Preacher. Lucas gets dove with the Riptide, and Max just walks away. This is a debacle.
And this is exactly what V5 want. They've already spotted out the patterns that the Shy uses. He always sends his clone backwards because usually you send your clone forwards and then you yourself run backwards. But everybody on V5 doesn't fall for the bait. CC's the original one that stands forwards and they get the kill.
Shy's still here, but look how low Ben4 was. Not going to be spotted out by the Shy, who's trying to freeze the wave right here. Mole goes on in for the engage. Going to take the Pop Blossom as it comes down. He gets it first. Mole gets the Shy. And that's a level 6 against the Nico.
Level advantage. Mole had level 6, but the Shy did not. All of a sudden using it. And once again, it's exactly the same as what we saw the first 3 times. The Shy sent his clone back. The original one gets caught. The original one dies.
Yeah. And now for Mole, after all that bullying, he gets a retrieval. That top lane is so much easier for him now. He doesn't need to TP to lane. He shoved it in. He can start walking back up there. And V5, 3 kills this early on again. What did I say? Like IG's younger brother.
Yeah, and Windy being a better player in the mid lane than Mole, yeah, well, you could throw that out the window because you could just have Mole in the top lane.
Okay, so Rookie in the mid lane going to get bullied out a little bit here, but he turns it back on as Ben4 goes in for the flash. There's the smite to come down. He impales Rookie. The damage to follow through from Windy as Lucas makes the roam onto Ben4. They want the Realm of, but no, a double knock-up. Ning gets the first one. Here we go. Give him the second as well.
That was so well timed from Ning as well, because when you knock Rise up as it's about to expire, whatever CC you put down onto him, so long as it's hard, means that it just gets cancelled. So both of the 2 players get caught still there.
And we're once again back to the IGV5 game. 7 kills, 7 minutes. Mole wants to make that number 8 onto the Shy after Shock negates so much of that trading potential. The Shy doesn't get the Tangle Barbs. Nicely dodged by Mole. Starting to win this lane out more and more as the Silas.
And I know that the question is going to be, why doesn't the Shy just send his clone forward rather than back? Because they're going to be expecting it this time. But it's so hard to change your playstyle as opposed to picking out a playstyle from your opponent. So if you get to do that, you pretty much get the entire game above them, which in a game number 3 is so crucial.
And meanwhile, the Terminator in the bottom lane in Ben4 is just hovering around. This is a very good gank because Rookie is going to go in for the trade, but Ben4 can't get him before the distortion. Impale not up and available as well, so I take that back a little bit. Windy's still able to push out in this lane with the Rise.
Already used it, and already used it to really great effect, so we just got to watch for what exactly he does in the downtime. Still has Predator, and the Predator is a little bit off cooldown, but going to come up very soon. So he can turn his eyes down towards the bottom or the mid lane right after he hard farms.
But he's not the jungler you're looking at, because Ning has 3 kills, and that's an issue. When a Jarvan has 3 kills, and you know Black Cleaver is going to be the first build outside of Warriors, which he already has. And by the way, Ben4, not into Cinderhulk just yet, so ladies and gentlemen, Ning is a big man.
He is, but he needs to use it, because if he doesn't, then it's all for naught. Oh, Max is right next to him.
Speaking of naught, Ning, what? How does that work? I don't know.
Wait.
What? Apparently, because Titan's Wrath gives him range.
But
okay,
how do you get the vision? He
found the vision because he's skilled, probably a ward, but Max presses Titan's Wrath. Thank you, everyone. Haven't played Nautilus in a while. And gets the extra range on the auto attack. Inventive from V5's bottom laners. From that big pick, Ben4's able to pull out the dragon, and IG, they can't steal this away. Infernal for the first of the game.
Cheeky and also shutdown goal for the rest of his team. Take a look at V5. 1 kill to every single member, and they're starting off this game so strong.
They really are. Everyone has a kill. You're right. This is a game that is truly worthy of a game 3. IG behind, V5, 1k gold up, and everyone's feeling good. Even though every single game so far, there's been a lead in every single lane. This time, it's even in the mid lane. And this time, the top lane has an advantage in Mole, who's had the extra pressure. So V5 adapting in this series, and IG are starting to lose out.
But don't forget, even though Ning just got caught in that last engage, he's still 3 kills up, which means that he still has a massive impact if he decides to gank a lane. Watch for where he goes and how V5 either spot him out or try to respond.
Because right now, Ning into the top side. He's going to try and do it by finding his way on top of Mole. Max is here too, going to be spotted out by a ward. Ning waiting patiently, but he doesn't know Ben4's here just yet. Max walking into the brush, plays it safe, does Ning. Predator now procced for Ben4, so that'll give it away, but that means river priority and towards the topside jungle goes over to Ben4.
Yeah, nobody can really contest this either. I mean, Rookie, even if he came in, it was going to be a 4v3. They're just going to get the priority for now, but sooner or later, you know that Ben4 is going to hard rush this Herald because he does so much damage with the Spire still active. It's a game of chicken.
Ben4 has the mobility because of the Spire as well. Ward gone. And Ning just walks out of there. So he's playing it on the nose right now. And so are the rest of IG. 4 members rotate up to the top side of the map, looking towards that Rift Herald. Well, V5 have no interest right now. They send waves into the bottom. You can see Y4 is slowly getting there, but will anything happen?
Yeah, and Jackie Love is down onto the bottom side of the map, and he does not have TP. Y4 is moving up, so V5 want this fight.
Oh, and he missed Ning for Max. He's going to get flagged to Dragon. They might just get the pick. Goes golden now for the Fisher down onto Ben4. For IG, they've grouped up so nicely. Y4 comes in for the Pop Blossom for Pop Blossom. Down it goes. They get Ning, and for V5 now they look for more. Realm Warp's there on top of Rookie. He tries to sword out of there, and he's done a great job of displaying his anger. Now for Rookie, out there with the distortion again.
And that's exactly what we were expecting. As soon as they hard shove the wave in bot, they know that Jackie Love is going to respond there. Timing the TP as well. Literally using your mathematical abilities to calculate when it's going to come up and abusing IG by knowing they don't have an ADC.
And because they leave the Shy back on the top lane, excuse me, after getting that fight, able to get the push in, but Y4 joining there with the Essence Reaver, not the impact we expected. It was V5 who tried to start this off with Max.
Yeah, although he did miss the hook, it's still a good fight for them because everybody is targeting down onto Max, and that little bit of extra survivability onto a tank support of all players buys his team enough time. Unfortunately, Ben4 falls down, but the Pop Blossom is good. Ning gets caught out, and you just have to watch for everybody else.
Mole reaps the reward there of the now 3-2 Jarvan. Hasn't got the Black Cleaver just yet, so Ning was accelerated in this game after a quick double and first blood, mind you.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I'm really happy to see the way that Ning was playing earlier on, but now 3-2, you have to start asking how exactly is he going to impact the map. He needs to find solo laners that he can make a 1v2, because any other number than that, and it's not going to work towards IG's priority.
Very hard to do that right now. Windy almost is the ultimate available. Mole able to get out there with the abscond abduct. V5, speaking of Ben4, he's gone to the Rift Herald, so this will be 3 members taking this down, and IG asking for support through Jackie Love and Lucas.
Yeah, Windy's also off on the side, and he is trying to match Ning, so watch for who comes first.
Lucas doesn't have Glacial Bishop, but Ben4 has the Impale. He flashes on top of the support. Now Lucas just going to get shredded here. Back to the Rift Herald, but Mole has other plans. The game plan, in fact, onto Ning, the Proto Belt gets the kill. 3-0 on the Silas top.
That little bit of disrespect at the end, you weren't even using it for the dash, but you knew that the damage was going to be so solid. That's what happens when you fight around a Spire.
Oh, Max, has he gone too far forward? It seems like it with the Rift Herald coming in. They're way too early. They get the pick. The Nautilus goes down, but V5 get gold from the turret plating. IG is sticking around.
IG, they can defend this, but we have to watch out for how V5 want to use.
Get the slow down, the binding onto Windy as the Shy sends out the clone. IG defend it well as turret plating drops on down. So V5 get a nice little reward in the mid lane, but losing their support just stops everything in their tracks, and they came off this Rift Herald play.
Once again, have to watch for the zoning potential of both Windy and Mole off onto the side. Lucas gets taken down before anything else can happen, and Ning, whoop, disrespect.
That's fantastic from Mole. Last little bit. And this is going to be a game where Mole, once again, shows us how he plays V5. And this is the 1v9 Mole. This is the best showing of him we've seen outside of his Zoe.
3-0-1, and they want to force the issue. 4 people.
Oh, what a flank position. Ning goes in, catapults him down onto 3 people, but the Blade Caller from Y4 gives him enough time. I say that, but JackeyLove decides the back line is now finally his. We're looking for the outplays, the flash from JackeyLove. He dodges the hook and gets the kill. Now onto Max. IG just looks stellar in this fight. Old IG greater than what we've seen so far.
Because what you are looking for is just Ning pulling the trigger. He doesn't even care about what V5 are thinking. Straight QE into the ultimate as well, and everybody is caught before they even know that it's happening.
JackeyLove cleans up the back of that fight. Now the Kai'Sa, a big threat to V5, and whilst talking up Mole, Kai'Sa is going to be just so much worse. 4-1. Picks up the Dragon. It's an infernal for both teams.
And I love seeing that it's a Stormrazor for the Kai'Sa as well. Let's take a look at this engage. Nobody knows it's coming except for the Xayah, but by then, Ning has already locked everybody down. And combined between the AoE damage, check out Windy on top as well. JackeyLove just about to execute him with the flash.
That was really nicely done. He dodged out of Max as well at the same time. Mole in the middle of that fight. Glacial Fisher went between 2 people, so unable to get anything else from it.
Going back to what I was saying, I really like how JackeyLove specifically went for the Stormrazor and not for the Manamune. Any other game, Manamune is great, but when you know that fights are never ending and you need to be spiked as often as you can be, this is the correct choice.
Really good as well, because you know you get that supercharge leveled up ASAP when you pick up the recurve bow alongside it. IG, however, after winning that last fight, they're going to get realm warped on here, but no one takes it. It's simply to push them off the turret. And V5 get back in the gold lead, however, only slight.
If it works, it works. And I cannot believe that we are 1-1 between IG and V5, and there's less than 1,000 gold separating them.
It's kind of interesting because for V5, this is just some of their best performances so far. We haven't seen as much of them as we'd like. But this being their 3rd series, a good one to go out on, whatever the result. For IG, expect a lot more as Mole wants the solo kill. Pop Blossom now being taken as Windy goes to the mid lane, but Rookie's just been bursted out. Double turret shot coming through as well. Rookie almost just gets chunked.
That gets you out of your seat. You're watching Rookie's HP to see what he can do. Now it's pretty much under V5.
Oh, we got a solo kill in the making here. The 1-for-1 Pop Blossom as Mole has the damage advantage. Flash over the wall from the Shy. Mole gets him out of there. He can't follow up, but he's done enough here in the trade.
Mole asserting his lane kingdom, finally saying the crown is mine regardless of what you think, and the Shy being punished hard.
Y4 meanwhile split pushing once again here on the Xayah as Rookie jumps into him once again. Bursts him out, gets the wave clear alongside it. V5 rotating up towards where the AD carry is. And of course there's no Baron here to force, so IG comfortable leaving them to their own wits.
Let's take this backwards and also outwards a little bit. So we were talking about what was going to make an MVP style player or play inside of this series, and that is survivability. So in that sense, I love how Y4 has opted for the Xayah and used the ultimate to disengage the Jarvan engage every single one of these fights. It means that if you just get to live, and if you might not get to optimize your DPS but never die, so you're always outputting damage, you're going to be one of the strongest players in your team.
Definitely are. Okay, IG right now, at this point, 18 minutes in, you're saying, yeah, it's such a close game. 1,000 gold over to V5. But JackeyLove has just picked up the Guinsoo's Rage Blade. And mid lane Luden's Echo expecting to see something else soon here from Rookie, who still has a small CS lead over the Rise. But it's JackeyLove with a 20 CS lead from that bottom lane. Makes you think suddenly, Y4 and JackeyLove, the fight's going to come down to them.
That's pretty much what you're looking for. And another thing that you've got to keep your eyes on is the vision. Not a lot of vision denial by either team, but distinctly winning for V5. They are pushing in very hard, especially to the top side of the jungle against IG, and they know everything that's happening in that quadrant.
Because IG right now have full control over the riverside of Baron, and this is going to be a massive priority. Early Baron is a big potential, considering we have Kai'Sa, Xayah in great position. IG starting to look for their first pick. It's Rookie Ning on the hunt. Look at where Windy is.
Just waiting and baiting. I mean, Windy, Oh, is he actually going to go up to the title? No, of course he's not. No, I was about to say.
That's why I said we have to wait and see. That's fair enough, though. Windy's just going to back off in that top lane. IG not taking no for an answer with this mid lane turret. They want to get the push off Rookie, looking for the flank onto Max, but he has to be careful. The Nautilus is the core frustration of LeBlanc players.
Yeah, just press the W, and then you don't take any damage from that solo Q.
Yeah. As we saw over from Vizicachi in the LEC.
Very nice, especially into pretty much anybody who dashes. I mean, this would have been a really nice
great
pick.
Yuumi counter, by the way. Poppy running Poppy against a Yuumi composition is just absolutely magnificent.
Because her W is a dash, and she's targetable until she hits.
That's right. If you want to dash to someone else, you cannot. Not if Poppy's around. So
yeah, we're helping solo queue because that's pretty much what this game does look like.
Not at the moment, though. This looks a little bit more controlled than we've had before. Mole is going to steal a Cataclysm here. V5 want to start the fight up. There's a flash. Double flag and drag. Ning times it perfectly. Even Windy flashes out in the end. Lucas locks on down with the Glacial Fissure as Nautilus tries to get in the backline, but Pop Blossom down. This time IG have full control, but look at Y4 in the backside. He's full health. The Xayah sends out the feathers once again. He's walking forward.
The Y4
having a great time. It's a pool party, and Y4 says, "You're not invited. You're not invited." And IG, you're definitely not invited.
All the way to the Baron. It's going to be one of the other. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
Never mind.
Rookie's going to try and burst out Ben 4, but they're going to eventually get back to the Baron in what was a hilarious Realm Warp and a good TP coming in.
It's so convenient for Y4. If everybody unloads their abilities without Y4 being targetable, then he's just going to do it.
Take on Rookie, back to the distortion, but he jumps back as well. He took one for his own. And V5 pick up the Baron. All laughs aside, a 5k gold lead against IG at 21 minutes with an Infernal and a Baron buff. V5 looking mighty good.
And I am speechless. Watch this flash as well. The double knock-up with the end of the flash in order to get that. So well played by Ning. However, the response from V5 is finally coming in. And Ben 4 being the front line is honestly all that it takes, because he doesn't even die at this point. Keep your eyes on Y4 as well, because once he's subbed out, Y4 tags him and he goes in for 4 brothers and he's getting all the kills.
Y4 just smashed that fight. That was very impressive from the Xayah. I'm glad I picked that one up, because at the moment, V5 looking to him as his core responsibility. What did I say 5 minutes ago? I think it'll be about the 80 carries here. So far that fight, Jaculov didn't have too much to say. Y4 had everything. So at this point, now with the Cloud Dragon in front of them, V5 have the elements of control.
And it's all about the difference between positioning differently from Jaculov's ultimate to just being untargetable from Y4. So far with all of these AoEs, you have to give it over to Y4. He can dodge stuff away.
Well, but that's a pop blossom taken there by Mole, and IG don't want to be here. Ben 4 going in. The Righteous Glory going to be popped out nice and early. Rookie jumps on in for a bit of burst. Now for V5 stacking up as mid with the Baron buff, they have the advantage again.
Get him. It's all about the Baron buff. 2 minutes remaining means that you just need to wait until the next minion wave. And honestly, with Max on the engage as well, you just need a good hook onto a key member, and Ben 4 plus everybody else follows after.
Plus, you can start putting this composition in work. Remember, Silas, Rise, they can sit in side lanes. They can even run a 1-4. And V5 right now with the Baron buff, Rise to the top side. Mole eventually does get the blue buff, but only just. Rookie gets jumped on. Here comes the Pop Blossom. Baby, it feels so good.
And Mole's just stealing it every single time off of cooldown because he plays that Nico so well, combined with the fact that he is so ahead and nothing is stopping him from
Mole
just decimating.
Is having the time of his life, so is Y4. The rest of V5 are ready to take down IG as they charge on forward. Not the real Shy in front of you with IG now looking defensive against V5 with Baron.
And now V5 can break into the base of IG in game number 3.
Good tangle barbs there to lock him down, but Y4 still free hitting. That means it's going to go down. That means we have a depth charge. V5 want to put the finishing touches onto IG, but can they? Glacial Fissure onto Windy and Mole. It's returned from Mole, but all of V5 are still alive, as now with the Realm Warp out, V5 get the inhibitor.
Rookie comes up, but he can't even chase all of this. And if he did, he would just get CC to oblivion. I can't believe that V5 just got that for free after the pickup from Rookie.
And again, it's disbelief because IG are on the verge of getting destroyed by another team. Now, destroyed is a light word here. Let's take it literally. this has been a game about V5 for V5, and Mole has made this about him as well.
And we definitely did not oversell this series. It is the best chance for V5 to win, and they are in the driver's seat. Already one inhibitor down, and they are up in gold massively. They're not looking to give that up.
This was literally the first for 16th or 15th match. There was no way we would rank V5 higher than 15th with the roster that they came in with. Suddenly, everything changes because the LPL is a wicked place to be.
It is. It's a beautiful place as well. The competition alone allows all of these teams to go in fearless, and that is really the story of this entire set. V5 has gone into all of these plays, especially in the early game, without fear as well. Almost looked rehearsed, and they were practicing it in all of their scrims, and they come out for the better.
Really do, but for V5 they still need to put the finishing touches on this game. 7k, 6k, excuse me, gold lead, and at this point, Y4, 3 items on the Xayah. Mole heading towards that same direction, but not sure what the third item could be here for the Silas. The Cloud Dragon picked up, or rather the first one, for V5, and they are putting the finishing touches here with an open inhib in the top side and Rookie responding to it.
It is just the cherry on top. They can just split between bot and mid as well, and all of the attention is too hard to deal with. IG do not have that great of a split push in Rookie because he's only 2 and 3, so they need to watch out.
There's a level down on Windy as well, as IG trying to defend this mid lane turret. And V5 eventually get some damage down, but they can't get the turret in the end. IG are waiting. Ben 4. Nice. That was absolutely crazy from him.
Yeah, he went up to the plant and he got himself out to safety, but while all of that was happening, free turret.
Has the Spider to play with as well, so Ben 4 can wrap around if need to, but the turret gets picked up. V5 get even more gold. They can go back to the mid lane. Baron buff disappeared ages ago. They just have so much control. It's crazy.
And it's just a good usage of it from V5 as well. As soon as they get the buff, they know exactly what they're doing. V5, for all of their faults in Spring, they are showing that if they get the lead, they know what to do with it.
And they're outskilling some world champions right here. Mole is so aggressive. He wants to jump on top of Rookie. And even now, Rookie onto Ben 4.
Oh, the
can't
pick.
find the pick off. As we do see the turret going down, means V5 charge ahead. The Shy wants the pick. Rookie over the wall onto Max. He dredge lines out of there. However weird that was looking. And V5, like I said before, they get more gold. They leave. They're safe. They're okay. The
story about IG is they have to be on the counter engage. There is no way that IG can be walking forward into V5. It has to be off of something like Max missing one of his hooks onto a wall and then re-engaging off of that. Because if they decide to walk into this entire team composition with a Skarner and also a Xayah, it's not working out.
Let's not forget, there's so many elements to lockdown members. Jackie Love needed a QSS here. Rise Rune Prison, Silas Abscond Abduct, Impale, Blade Core, everyone has CC. There is so much CC in the composition of V5 that if Lucas walks in here, he's gonna die. Abscond Abduct, Pop Blossom from Mole.
Oh
that's the pick you want. The Iceberg gets sent packing, and the Russian with a moustache can't do anything.
Wait
the
a
Pop
second.
Blossom, they've been cornered off. V5 took the Realm Warp, a big mistake. They now need to run because Ning goes for the re-engage. The counter-engage you're talking about is there, but still the Rise alive. V5 are out for now.
Well, I can't believe that V5...
Oh, Jackie Love into the Killer Instinct. Mole hold that Thought Preacher because Mole is going to re-engage. The Silas wants to go back in. Goes Golden. Whitney picks up one. The Rise has hit late game as the Shy is so darn low. He wants to poke from Overload, but meanwhile Rookie's still alive. He gets one in the mid lane and Jackie Love takes on Windy. IG get the ace of the Realm Warp mistake.
Yeah, that's a clean ace, and I'm going to say that it was well-deserved from IG just because of what V5 did with that Realm Warp. It's either you all take it or none of you take it, but if you leave a couple of men behind, they're going to be picked off by IG, and that's exactly what happened.
It looks like they were CC'd or moved out of the Realm Warp. I want to get a replay on that one because for IG, now they're being given this Baron buff over. Not too low to take this one away. The Shy ends up tanking it. Don't back yet, Rookie. And Baron goes over to IG. They're back in this game.
Definitely swung over. We have to watch because they definitively win so hard by picking up Lucas. The Realm Warp comes in. We're watching. And they just didn't step in it.
Ah, they did not.
They just didn't step in it. 3 members left remaining against 4. That's what happens.
That is an error from V5. That is super rough.
That is big as well, because that is a mistake that nobody really plans for. You can't just say, hey, Rise Ultimate, you step into it. It's not a mistake that people make.
That's very anticlimactic for V5. A team that had the firm control, got the pick, could have breached another inhibitor turret, or even, as they were going towards, get that Baron. So right now for V5, they've got to find that window once again because IG empowered off that. JackeyLove is doing so much work here in the back to front line.
Mind you, the gold advantage is still towards V5, but the Baron advantage is now on IG.
That's going to soon change. Gold's going to even up. This mid lane turret can get pushed quite easily. Y4 has a lot of wave clear, but the Shy heads forward first.
So now we just have to watch, especially for the engagement.
Y4 got a great blade caller. Here comes Mole once again. They don't need it. It's Y4 who sets up the kill. This time Realm Warp only 2, but it doesn't matter. Y4 heading forward. Ben4 wants the impale. This will end the game. Mole onto the Shy. Abscond Abduct. This time it's Lucas. He charges. The rest of IG are routed, and V5 may have just done it.
I cannot believe the pick onto JackeyLove is potentially the play to win them the game.
And now the Abscond Abduct onto Rookie could put the final touches here. Can V5 end off of this? There's long death timers. JackeyLove 20 seconds. V5 want to do it.
Take a look at this. The emotions are coming huge, and V5 go.
Glacial Fisher on top. Ning, can he get into the Glacial Prison? We see again the Jarvanaut goes in, but he's dead immediately. Y4 now hitting at the turret too, and V5 have done it. The Nexus turret is hitting them hard where it hurts, but they don't want to stay because JackeyLove keeps the game alive. They still an ulti. Mole is there, but they're waiting for the next wave.
And Y4 is still up, so they've got the damage.
Ben4 is super low, but I don't think JackeyLove can save this game. I don't think the Shy can save this game. V5 heading into the Nexus, and they've done it. IG again, defeated. Unexpected result, but V5 slammed them home.
V5, they fought from the very first minute until the very last fight in the base itself. I can't believe that throughout that entire series, they took it toe-to-toe with IG, and they looked so close even in the game that they lost. But man, taking it against the former world champions, this is a different IG, but this is definitely a different V5 as well.
There's a lot of questions about IG here, but V5 had some great stellar moments in that series. But was it messy? Holy...
Look at that! Of course you would! Of course you would! You beat IG! Look at that! It was on my graph.
That's Hanye, by the way. That is the coach of V5 in Hanye. So... what a reaction. That's what happens when you beat IG.
And it's so well deserved, honestly, because from his drafting phase alone and his decision to substitute out Alias for Mole, it was a question because we said, double mage, is this going to work out? It definitely did, because Mole was one of the biggest players inside of that last game.
Oh, there was never any question about the draft from V5. Previous weeks, it's always been a pretty stock standard. I mean, this series, it was fine. The biggest question was the performance of the individual players from V5 going up against IG. Mole held his lane well. In the mid lane, I was not too surprised that Windy, after what we saw in the first 2 games, did okay into Rookie. And this just compounded into IG taking another loss, folks.
Oh, I love it. I love everything about this graph. Mole is on top. Y4 is on top. Windy is on top. And that definitely reflects everything about this entire game and also series, because they did so much work. I mean, subbing in Mole, getting the double mage, worked out so well against the Shy. They must have predicted the Nico top, and they completely countered it.
Really did. Now, the Shy's picked Nico top many times. The Harleys has gone up against it. It's funny that Mole is the person that goes up against the Nico top. So, interesting roster change. Moving the mid lane to top, moving the top lane a bit, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and inside of the game, I was actually highlighting the fact that he knew exactly which one was the real Shy and which one was the clone. You only do that by just staring at the Shy and figuring out how he plays. That was just beautiful.
It was great from, I mean, it was great from V5. Now, let's have a discussion about IG, because what is happening?
Oh, I mean, they are just utterly capitulating. I'm willing to say it right now. They do not look in form at all. They take these scrappy fights because they're so confident that they can take it, but they can't, in all honesty. And they are fighting the LPL teams, which are all teamfight-based teams, which are all so skilled.
Dominus eSports, we went to Game 3, and then it was, okay, good IG. And then we went to a point where I think in Dominus eSports in the second game, you said, what is happening with IG? And then we went further. And we said, all right, LNG, IG, how are they going to fare? LNG smacked them. And then this series, it was so scrappy that V5, they were scrappier than IG.
Yeah, they just out-scrapped them. And honestly, the fact that there were so many fights all of the time, and it was pretty much just your job 24/7 shouting about everything on your screen.
My voice is wrecked.
You must be gone. I feel for you, because that was just such an intense series where nobody ever let up. However, V5 managed to come out on top. And you have to say IG, especially with Lucas, maybe at the very least in the team fights, the mechanics are not quite there and it's not quite saving the rest of the team.
I think this right here, I have nothing to say about Lucas because we were talking to Vincent backstage. He said it's too early to tell, and I absolutely agree. This, at this point, comes down to someone like Ning, to like the rest of the roster. I mean, Rookie in game 1, they look disjointed. And it's funny because IG, when they first came together, you're like, how's this team going to look? Little disjointed, got together, worked on team fights, and then IG became, you know, one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, I like how you actually question Ning, because take a look at his performance in game number 1. He was just dying. Like, he was just going around the map and dying.
And then he just waits, and then Ning just sits in a brush for a very long time, 2 minutes. You're like, they're not doing Baron, brother. You have vision of them. What are you doing?
But it's also the question about lane kingdoms as well, because none of those lanes look particularly outstanding for IG either. You couldn't just rely on them to completely outplay their opponents, because it didn't happen in the series.
I will say, though, Jackie Love in that very last game did look pretty good, pretty threatening for the side of V5. But if V5 can take down IG, this opens the door to everyone else. This potentially, in the long run, could be the couple of matchups that hurts IG. Because remember, our top 8 is so competitive that if a team like IG keeps taking losses, then who knows what could happen towards playoffs.
Yeah, and you really have to question IG. How exactly are they going to come back into this one? One of the huge factors is, of course, discipline. That is something that Coach Kim Karam brought to the team. He definitely made them work hard outside of competitive, so that they were good coming into all of these competitive games. Now that he was subbed out, even for this little bit, you could definitely see that it shows.
Well, at least for Coach Kim, in the end of 2018, when Coach Kim left, there's been 2 Coach Kims, by the way.
Right,
IG is confused. So end of Coach Kim 2018. After he left, it felt like there was a void that needed to be filled for IG. Coach Martha was the acting coach emergency for today. But Coach Karam, our other coach, Kim, who went to MSI, was unable to be with them today. So whether that has an impact or not, I'm actually not sure. With IG anymore, I'm just going to stop predicting them ever again.
You throw it up in the air, because here's the deal. If you can win lane consistently every single time like you could in 2018, take whatever fights you want to, but you couldn't, so maybe you can't. Reinvent yourself. At the very least, practice a little bit harder to make sure that you got the matchups under your belt, and you should be able to take it for the future.
I do want to break down the draft of this last game just a little bit, because the way we saw the Silas in the top lane, which in the LPL we don't see all the darn time. You know, a lot of Silas mids as Maple, even Rookie. Mole looked great. You know, going up into the Shy and into the Nico, which was bullying him out early. It was one gank that came off the ground that got him off the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a mole show in the top lane, because usually you say, oh, it's always enabled by the jungler, right? That was one gank, and then he just popped off all by himself. Stealing the Nico ultimate before Nico hit level 6, beautiful. Snowballing from that point onwards, you know exactly that Mole knew both the matchup and how to play against the Shy in specific.
Yeah, especially when he has 2 Nico players on his team. Bring it back a couple of games, and we've got a Yasuo player on V5. I'm genuinely excited for Windy.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserves like a mandatory ban coming out from that Yasuo, and if you don't, then you are in for quite a surprise. Game number 1 and game number 2, he was smacking Rookie's, he was smacking Rookie's Silas.
Yeah, he was. Remember that Silas, you know, again, couldn't really get off the ground. That game, Silas? Yeah, it was a Silas, wasn't it? I was thinking, I was like, hang on, yeah, because Silas ult onto Windy. Yeah. And then the bottom lane, and you're like, how's Y4 going? Well, 2 control mages, an AD carry in the end as well.
I liked all of them. I'm going to be honest, I liked all of them. I love the Sona because obviously it was MVP.
Sona's
you don't need to talk too much about
right
it.
Now,
yeah, the Orianna worked because you thought that she was going to be the ball-focused play, but it just never really happened. She never got the multi-man combo off. But the last game, to make sure that you were always surviving on the Zyra as well, the pick and the execution, the timed ultimates, beautiful.
It was. Game 3 especially, Y4 was great. However, in this case, Mole won out for the final MVP of that series and of the game number 3. 59% kill, but I thought it was damage. That's all right. 31% though. Still some good stuff here from the Silas top.
And take a look at that. Subbed out, comes right back in the top lane. 2 MVPs to his name. He's definitely deserved this one. It was his lane kingdom, and he was just completely dominating on the Shy even before teamfights happened.
That man was scheming in the top lane. He's got the Mr. Burns fingers going on there. I like how we got some good portraits going on here in the LPL. But that's it for today. I mean, we've had 2 best-of-3 series.
That's
We've
it.
gone the distance, and IG and V5. Like, whatever that series was, I'm glad to get people's feedback. Please tweet at me and tell me exactly what that was.
I mean, that one was scrappy, if nonetheless. You want to see every single team fight side by side, just watch a whole game.
Yeah, no, it's going to take a long, long while. However, here in the LPL, we just don't sleep. We don't stop. We don't rest. Today's Monday, the start of week 3, day number 1. We return tomorrow, not Wednesday. Remember that tomorrow is when we return, but before that, we're going to go to standings because right now, have a look at IG. Where are they? Near the bottom. Well, only 1 down, but still, V5 have the head-to-head over them.
It's so fitting that they actually get overtaken by V5 from that very last series. Another one that you really want to keep your eyes on is OMG advancing. That's something that you need to look at.
Yeah, OMG taking their first loss to BLG a little bit early, but BLG starting to push their way up as well. And at the moment, our teams like RNG, EDG looking very good. FPX alongside them. But even LNG, we haven't seen enough of them just yet. But I was talking a little bit before how the LPL doesn't sleep. And I was